All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Enlightened Conversations. Really excited for today and to introduce you guys to today's guest, who is in Beverly Hills, California right now. Awesome background where he is. I used to live not too far from where he is about 5-6 years ago. Excited to talk with Taryll Myles today. He is a friend of a guest that I had, Lisa, on a previous episode, and she had just amazing things to say about him. And I was excited to connect with him and now have this conversation. And so I'm excited to introduce him to you guys. Taryll is a high-end life coach. I'll let him explain what that means. And but I knew one thing before I even reached out, that he was wanting to help people. He was helping people, inspired to spread love and light, and that's what we're going to share with you guys today. So without further ado, for me, I want to introduce you guys to Taryll. And if you could share with the audience so they're more familiar with you, who you are, what you do, why you do it, all that good stuff.
Perfect. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to meet you, and pleasure to be on the show. My name is Taryll Myles. I am a high-end life coach. Many people, when they hear that, they're like, what is a high-end life coach? They know what a life coach is, but not a high-end. But that brings me back to the story where when I first started coaching, I was working with a lot of executives and stuff like that, a lot of CEOs. And I was doing life coaching, but I realized that it was something that was going on emotionally, spiritually, inside of the body. So I figured, hey, there's a need for this, and I know that there's a lot of people who are suffering from stress and personal issues, fulfillment in their life, and they're successful, but they lack that fulfillment, they lack that health, that optimal health, not just going to the gym, but just that optimal health. So I brought a different approach to where it caters to those who are already highly successful. I say that I'm not in business to motivate others. I'm in the business to help winners win more. So my business is catered to those individuals who are already winning, but maybe a little bit stuck personally. So that's where the high-end life coach comes into. For example, one of the greatest in the world, Oprah Winfrey, have a lot of coaches. A lot of high profile individuals have had life coaches. Just like an athlete has a coach to prepare, to maintain, and to help them out. Same thing for individuals who are already doing pretty well in their profession. For me, honestly, my story began from playing sports. Former professional athlete, I played basketball in Europe, and just traveling around the world, I've had the opportunity to meet people, be around different people, and realize that there were other issues outside of what people are kind of showing. We're in this world of don't show your weaknesses, especially as men. Don't be transparent. And I realized that once we understand and once we start to become transparent and start to tell people what our issues are, then that's when we start to grow. So my job is to get with my individuals that I work with, and I can be that confidential person they can speak to and help them in those areas so that they can grow, make a bigger impact in their profession, their personal lives, their communities, and things like that. So that's some of the stuff. So,
yeah. Love it. Very interesting. I'm fascinated with your approach, and as a former professional athlete, I could see some tie-ins as far as you always, of course, had coaches, and I'm sure you probably were one of the. What position did you play in basketball?
I played shooting guard, so I like to score the basketball, so
perfect.
I like to shoot.
So, what I've always noticed with team sports, especially, I used to play baseball. I played baseball in college and thought I was going to play pro, so I tore my shoulder up and couldn't throw anymore. But what I've noticed with professional athletes is, we're used to, especially team sports, we're used to having coaches and then, working in a team. And how did that kind of, as far as when you finished playing sports, did you know that you wanted to be a coach of some capacity, or how did it work for you?
Yeah, actually, before I even started playing professional sports, I was coaching. So before I left California, I was actually coaching. I was doing personal training. I was certified as a personal trainer. And then I ended up going to university, got a scholarship, and then I finished my studies and things like that. Then over the next 2 years, I ended up going overseas playing basketball. But during that time, I was actually still coaching. So I was a professional basketball player while at the same time doing personal training, basically for business guys, entrepreneurs and stuff like that. But then as I started to get closer towards my retirement, I guess you want to call it, I started to zero in on what I could be doing and how I can make a bigger impact. So exactly like you said, I'm taking those aspects from sports, the things that I've experienced personally from birth, and implementing them into what the coaching methodology that I use for the individuals to help them get better. So again, it's basically like helping individuals prepare, train, and recover like professional athletes in their lives. So it's and that's accustomed to each individual. Each individual is different. So I figure when we look at an athlete, when you look at their body, their mindset, their goal get it, they're at the top of the top. So I use all of those techniques and put it into the methodology that I use that differentiates me. Sorry about the noise in the back. It differentiates me from others who are kind of doing similar to what I'm doing.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. But I'm always curious because I speak with a lot of coaches and, spiritual teachers and just healers, all sorts of different people. And I'm always curious what, like, foundationally, because for all of us, like, if we're doing any coaching or teaching, at some point in our lives, like, we had some things that we became aware of personally that really benefited us. I call it like a light bulb moment where it's like, okay, this is something that I'm definitely going to implement and, help my life evolve, where I want it to evolve. And then, for some like yourself, they decide to take it and actually share it and help other people with those things. Foundationally, what are some of the things that for humanity, are going to be important as far as from what you become aware of thus far in life?
It's funny because my, I guess you would call my professional development or personal development journey began. I was scrolling through YouTube and I actually seen a video from Russell Simmons. And he was speaking about meditation. He was speaking about veganism, the whole spirituality. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. At that point, I had never tried meditation. So I gave it a try. Obviously, I failed the first couple of times of meditation. Probably like most people, they think, you're going to sit there and not think about anything, which is pretty much impossible to sit there and not think about, something. So it took me a while to truly understand and truly embrace spirituality and the power of our mind and the party of our energy and stuff like that. And honestly, that is something that kind of led me into creating the business that I created in Geneva, where I was based, and then bringing it here to Beverly Hills. So.
Love it. Very, very interesting. It's cool how, the age we're in 2020 and beyond, we can come across information in so many different ways. When we're, ready to receive some information that can impact us, it can come from YouTube. There's been so many times where I've been, taking a shower or something, just had YouTube on in the background and a video comes on and I'm like, that's good information from someone that I didn't even know existed on the planet. So I love that. So when you're working with clients, from the things that you became aware of with, starting with the Simmons video and then where it evolved through from there, if you had to, I always love that the internet just lives forever and someone can be attracted to these episodes right when it releases or 20 years from now. But what is something or anything foundationally that you would want, humanity to know that has impacted you that you feel would impact them whenever they hear this episode?
I think being, I'd say one of the things that helped me out the most is being transparent. I keep saying that word, but transparency is the key, along with just relationships, having those solid core relationships. That's something that has helped me out the most, because you can have all the education, you can have all the experience you want, but if you're not, I feel like if you're not transparent and if you're not speaking to individuals and you don't have the right relationships, the right individuals around you to either help you grow or something like that, you definitely don't want any people who are kind of want to bring you down or anything like that. But I would say that, and just being, being able to optimize our human being, optimize our performance, optimize our health. I feel like it's very important. It's not just physical, it's also mental, it's also emotional. And these are the things that we can teach to our kids, we can teach to our friends, and it goes all the way down the line. So it trickles down the line.
Do you find yourself with clients working on the the physical side as well as the mental and spiritual? Do you incorporate everything, or are you more focused on one element?
Yeah. So when an individual gets with me, it's of course we have a consultation online, or we're in the same area. We have it in person. And the first thing is just to find out what personal or professional areas are they having issues with or challenges with. Most people have some challenge. It may not be a big problem, but they may have some challenge. And from there, we pretty much create a plan that caters to each individual. For example, I had a guy who was, I was working with him, and actually one of his neighbor, he lived 2 doors down from Kobe Bryant, and great guy, multi-millionaire. His health was not what it should have been, and it was my job to help him out with that and help him get back on track. And that's where I really enjoy doing it. And honestly, that's what my business is built around. Obviously, you have online courses that you offer to other individuals, things like that. But the bulk of the business is definitely catering to individuals who want to continue to win, who want to be the best at what they're doing, who want to inspire others, and because that's what I feel like I want to be doing. So, I like to work with individuals where I look at and say, wow, this guy's inspiring. Let me do my best work, because I know he's great at what he does. So,
absolutely. What are you excited about this year here in 2020? As we're timing this recording, we just hit February, which is crazy because I feel like we just celebrated New Year's.
I know.
What do you have going on this year, or what are you excited about here for 2020?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about 2020 because it's just another year that I'm alive, another year that I have my family around, another year I have my health, another year the sun's shining in my face, and I can be appreciative of the simple things, just sitting in the sun, going to the beach. But as far as business-wise, I have a lot of events that I'm going to be planning. I really like events, private events. It's a good way to bring people together, and not for business necessarily, but just to build those relationships, because I've learned that relationship building is key. It's not always about selling. It's just about getting people together who can benefit from each other, and then let everything else take care of itself. So I have events coming up. Also, just rebranding myself here in Beverly Hills. Actually, I've only been living here for 3 months in Beverly Hills. So rebranding myself here, and letting everybody know I'm the best thing that's going to happen to the city. So
love it. No, Beverly Hills is you're right in the middle of everybody there is moving and shaking. Everybody wants to have something that they want to create, and definitely anybody that can help them with the mental, spiritual, and then physical. I mean, the whole self is definitely going to be the most important thing, because without it, we could have a ton of money, we could have a ton of a lot of things, but if we're missing one of the major elements, mental, spiritual, physical, it's going to be rough. We're going to have challenges in that area of life, sure, and it could spill into all the rest of the areas of life as well.
And that's exactly why I created the business that I'm doing. I call it high-end coaching and lifestyle consulting. So, high-end coaching is it's basically those high-end individuals, those top of the top, best of the best. And the lifestyle consulting is where we deal with those entrepreneurs who are not at the top, but still need some work. So I have 2 brands where I work with 2 different individuals. So it's unique. It's very unique. I haven't seen anything like that around.
Awesome. Can people find you on social media, or where do you normally connect with your clients? And
so I would say I don't have a big social media following, but I do connect with a lot of individuals on LinkedIn. So my LinkedIn is definitely my breadwinner. But people can connect with me on LinkedIn. They can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and on Instagram I just post just normal stuff, nothing too crazy. I'm not a Instagram influencer, and I just kind of post what I've done, who I've been with, and no selfies, really, none of that stuff like that. So I'm not a big fan of that. I just live in a simple life, and I don't do too much of that. So, but they can connect.
Simple life in 90210 though.
That's true. Yeah, when I said simple life, I was like, to an extent. Because the thing is, honestly, I've when I was in Europe, I had very big, successful business, very big. And, you know, once you achieve success and you start to buy things, like, you know, you set your goals and you say, okay, I'm gonna bring this to my life or whatever. And then you set your goals and then you achieve it. And for example, I had a car that I wanted to get, and the year it was January that I took a picture of myself inside of the car, and then I said I'm going to get this car for my birthday. And then in October 6th, I ended up getting the car. And my birthday was October 5th. So it's just crazy how you can kind of, you know, manifest those things. And my point of this story is that I manifested that, but literally a week later, I was like, okay, it's just a car. Now what? You know? And same thing when I had my apartment. I bought a brand new apartment. First night I was there, I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then after that, I was like, okay, it's just an apartment. So now I put in perspective what's really important. And for me, what's really important is just sharing those experiences with my family, with my friends, and, you know, traveling and stuff like that. Cause I feel like that lasts forever. Material items don't last forever. So, but those memories that you can share with your loved ones, with your friends, they last forever. So I'm all about that, you know.
I love it. You just said something that inspired me that I'm gonna share with the audience that will help them. And also, my birthday is October 6th, so that's cool.
Oh shit! Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
But the way that now I'm gonna mispronounce your name after all this time. Taryll, I got it.
Perfect.
The way that and I'll make sure I'm gonna keep clapping. I gotta make sure that that's not too loud on the edit. I'll listen to that. You guys won't hear that part if it's too loud in you guys' ears. But what Taryll just said, as far as having a desire, one is really powerful to be able to feel what it's like to, you know, to be in the house or be in the car. But what's really important and really what makes manifestation happen easier and more quickly is to be able to release the attachment of it to where, you know, he was still able to just live his life. And, you know, he had his goal. He said it. He felt what it would be like. He was excited for it. He set a date that he even wanted to have it. But he wasn't so attached to it to where a lot of us will have these goals and it's like, okay, I'll be happy when I'll get that goal. And we're so attached to that thing that it really slows down the process. And, you know, we're not as magnetic to, you know, the things that need to happen in order for that goal to come in existence, whether we need to have a certain amount of clients or we need to have certain things happen in our lives. The releasement and the being detached from it is what allows it to come to us as we're continuing to move towards it. So that's really what you just described there. It's like, it's probably one of the most challenging parts of manifestation for most, because it's like, yeah, have a desire for something, but then don't care about it. It's kind of like,
yeah. And again, you know, it's in a sense, it's not really not caring about it. I understand what you're saying, but it's not necessarily not caring about it. It's just not obsessing about it, you know, because the more you obsess about it, the more you kind of push that away. And, you know, they say, like, you know, when you find love, you know, you can't look for it. You just have to be open to it. So, you know, it's the same way. If you're looking around for everything, then it probably won't ever come. But if you just say to yourself, that's something that I want, and then you know that it's a process of achieving that thing, that goal, and whatever that goal may be. And just know that it's never going to be a straight road. It's going to be like this, it's going to be up and down. You're going to get hit, and it might be a different path that you thought it's going to help you arrive there than, you know, what you've previously planned. So, I mean, that's happened to me. It's personal experience. So, you know, you might have a specific goal and a specific plan, but just know that that plan could go, you know, left or right, and just, you know, stay confident with that, and just know that, you know, it's about the journey. They say the journey, not necessarily the destination. And it really is true. It really is about the journey. It's hard to accept, but it really is that. So.
Absolutely. One of my favorite ways to phrase that is, it's really difficult to have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. So if you have a happy journey, then you can have if the car is the ending or the house is the ending, and it's really no ending, because there's going to be places that you want to go from there as well for all of us. But I mean, if you're unhappy every step of the way, we're just slowing it down for ourselves, and we're kind of denying ourselves the only moment that's promised to any of us, which is the present moment. So if you could just be happy all along the way as you're going after all of your goals and dreams, you know, when you get them, you'll be excited, and then you'll be on to the next, on to something different. So no, I love that. That's awesome. Well, no, this has been a really good conversation, and I like to leave it open to the guests as far as anything that they want the audience to know. And it could be any subject, but I appreciate what you've shared thus far, and definitely I'll put whatever links you want, whether it be your Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You guys will be able to see that here in the description, so you guys can connect with Taryll. But anything else that you want to share with the audience before we go?
Just be happy. Just live every day with happiness. I say that I believe that we're on this earth to love. We're here to share. We're here to grow with others. For me, that's the most important thing. Share my love, share my friendships, grow with others, and just try to become the best version of myself while I'm here, because you never know when it's your last day or someone that you love last day. So,
absolutely, great advice. And yeah, we've gotten some harsh reminders of that just recently.
Yes.
So
yes.
definitely,
yes.
It's interesting. I saw something. It's funny how quick as human beings we can come together, and then also we can forget. I saw something really funny on Facebook as far as a friend of mine posted. He said just a week ago, this was the Super Bowl Sunday, and he said just a week ago we were all coming together, because of Kobe Bryant's death. And he said now we're all separated because we're talking about what they were wearing on the Super Bowl performance. J-Lo and Shakira. He's like, what happened? It's like, it's only been a week. So,
yeah.
Good reminder.
Yeah. My mom always said, stay out of grown folk business. So, let people do them. Yeah. Let people do them and don't judge. I mean, I think judging others is probably one of the worst things that an individual can do. It kind of speaks more about themselves than the other individual. So, I've definitely, made that a focus of my life not to judge others. And for example, just my last thing, this is something I've learned. Maybe, for example, there was in the past, I would see people walking down the street, and I would naturally have form an opinion about this individual without knowing this person. And, I realized that maybe what about this person's story? Do I know this person's story? Do I know what happened from birth? Do I know if this person was molested or was beat? And all these things that made this person become who this person is today. So now when I see someone who is, maybe has a bunch of tattoos on their face and who's, dressing like a thug or whatever the case may be, I don't look at that person as a thug. I look at that person as someone who that's all they know, and they grew up having to be tough. They grew up having to deal with certain situations. So you kind of open your eyes to like, okay, let me not judge this individual because I don't know their story. I don't know what they've been through all of their life. Maybe their mom just died the other day. Maybe that's why they're driving like a maniac on a highway. So that could be advice that you can leave for the audience too. Just don't ever judge because you never really know their story.
Absolutely. No, great advice. And since this is the only moment promised to any of us, we can't judge someone and feel good and enjoy this moment at the same time. So, if today was your last, would you spend the whole day judging other people, or would you spend the whole day loving the people that you love or trying to enjoy, the day?
Yeah.
Good question to ask ourselves.
And just being cool and just be cool. Just being cool with strangers. I mean, you walk down the street, smile at people. It's okay to smile these days. It's okay to laugh, Like I feel like we don't laugh enough and smile enough in society these days. I like to walk around and smile at people, and people smile back. They're like, oh, okay, this guy's cool. He has good energy. I don't want anything from him. I'm just smiling. Simple as that, because it helps our body. It helps us as a human being. So.
Absolutely. No, I love it. We're all the same. We all live, we all die, we all bleed. We all the same yes. energy. We're just living different expressions of the same non-physical energy that's flowing to and through us. So
definitely.
No, that's awesome. And I appreciate you, Taryll, and you guys definitely connect with Taryll. And if you're inspired to connect with him and see more about what he's got going on, definitely do it. I always encourage everybody to follow whatever energetic pull that we have towards anything, because there's something there that could benefit us on our journey, some new clarity, some new life experience. So definitely do that. And thank you for coming on, Taryll. And
Thank you.
Thank you guys out there for tuning in to another episode of Enlightened Conversations. Definitely share this with anybody that you feel would benefit, and you can definitely make an impact on them. And continue to rate and review all these episodes, and subscribe if you're not already. Make it easier for people to find all these episodes. And we'll keep talking to awesome humans like Taryll and sharing love and light with all you guys. So have an amazing day whenever you guys hear this, and we'll talk with you soon.